What's up guys, Mike here, and today I have an absolutely awesome matchup for you. We're going to see what happens if a team of only #1 overall draft picks plays a team of everyone else. Now you might be thinking this should be no contest. I mean, everyone else should win easily, right? But the thing is, the #1 overall draft picks actually have a ton of talent to choose from. In the NBA, #1 picks have produced 44 All-Stars, 11 MVPs, and 17 Hall of Famers. So I think this game is actually going to be closer than you would think. And for this video, Wilt Chamberlain is not going to be included because he was a territorial pick and he would have been the #1 pick. It's a whole thing, just trust me. And with that said, let's jump into the rosters. The starting lineup of the ones is headlined by Magic Johnson at point. Johnson, a 3-time MVP and 5-time NBA champion, will facilitate the ones offense and will prove to be a matchup nightmare for the others. At the 2, Allen Iverson gives the ones an awesome scoring presence. Iverson was drafted first in the 1996 draft, a true testament to his ability, as the 76ers were willing to put their franchise in the hands of a 6-foot guard, whereas the rest of the league had a history of relying on big men. The small forward for the ones is none other than LeBron James. Although LeBron is just 31 years old, he's already proven himself as one of the all-time greats, and will be a real asset in this battle of NBA legends. At power forward, Tim Duncan gives the ones the ultimate teammate and all-around winner. Duncan is selfless, plays great defense, and is really the perfect player to have in this type of atmosphere. And the center position is anchored by none other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or should we say Lou Alcindor, as that was his name when he was drafted first overall in 1969. Jabbar's skyhook will give the ones instant offense if they ever stall, and his 7'2" frame will be sure to heavily affect the other shots when they are around the basket. And the bench for the ones consists of Oscar Robertson, James Worthy, Elgin Baylor, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Shaquille O'Neal. While shooting might be a concern for this group, they also have several advantages. The Big O continues the one's advantage of big point guards and gives the squad a tremendous all-around threat. Worthy and Baylor are perfect glue guys, especially on the fast break, as both are known for their abilities to finish in transition. At the backup 4, Hakeem is one of the most unique elite talents in NBA history. He can defend both guards and big men alike. His footwork around the rim is unmatched, and he has an incredible motor. Which brings us to the backup center position and the man himself, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq might not be happy that he's coming off the bench, but he'll be sure to provide an incredible physical presence for the ones. And matching up against the ones, we have the others. At point guard, John Stockton is handed the keys to the offense. Stockton was taken 16th out of Gonzaga in the 1984 draft, but ended his career first on the NBA's all-time assist leaderboard. Stockton won't look to shoot much this game, but that's a good thing. Instead, he'll look to feed the stars around him the ball, and in a game with this many stars, no one can get enough shots. The shooting guard for this team is Michael Jordan. Jordan finished his career as the greatest player of all time, but he was drafted 3rd in 1984. Due to this fact, he wore a chip on his shoulder throughout his career, a chip that allowed him to become the most competitive player in basketball history. To be sure, this competitiveness will show itself in this matchup. At the 3, the all-around ability of Larry Legend gives the others a player who will get the most out of the talent around him. Bird will find the open man, crash the boards, and knock down jumpers at the very least. And if he's hot, the others can run their entire offense through him. The starter at power forward might be a surprise to some, but he really shouldn't be. The talents of Charles Barkley often go underappreciated when discussing NBA legends, but none of his competition for the spot quite had a season like Barkley did in 1988 in terms of efficiency. In '88, Charles averaged 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists a night while shooting a ridiculous 59% from the field. Take away his 3-pointers and Chuck shot 63% from the field. And at center, Bill Russell gives the others the final piece of the puzzle. They have great passing, they have great scores. What they really need is a defensive stud in the middle. And Russell is arguably the best rim protector of all time, so he more than fills this role. Looking at the others' bench, we have Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Karl Malone, and Moses Malone. This bench is very well rounded and should be able to fill in for the starters at a moment's notice. In fact, it can even be argued that Isaiah deserves a starting spot over Stockton, though we'll try to limit his time on the court with Jordan as much as possible to prevent the two from killing each other. Kobe will fill in for the 2 for Jordan, giving the others 48 minutes of ridiculous scoring at the shooting guard spot. Moving on, the addition of Kevin Durant gives the others some good lineup flexibility, as he can slide down to the 4 if need be. And no matter where he's playing, he'll be sure to rain down jumpers on the ones. The main backup at the power forward spot will be Karl Malone though. as again it is arguable that Malone could be a starter, but he will really flourish as a scorer off the bench. And rounding up this lineup, Moses Malone will be sure to clear the boards for the others, potentially pulling down key rebounds that can swing the game. And so for the game, we are going to have the ones be the Bulls for obvious reasons, and the others will be the Sonics for just as obvious reasons. So let's do this. Kareem begins the game by winning the tip, and just moments later, LeBron feeds Magic for an easy short jumper. Both teams seem tight though, as 3 minutes go by without another score. Finally, Michael Jordan breaks the drought with a steal and a thunderous dunk on the other end. This seems to wake up the ones though, as they begin to execute their offense flawlessly. Magic drains a three off another great pass from LeBron. Then Kareem and Takeem score on back-to-back post moves to lead the ones to an early 6-point lead. This lead is short-lived, however, as Charles Barkley begins to take over. He knocks down a three off a pass from Bird, then takes the ball strong to the basket, stops on a dime, and converts on a short jumper of his own. The next play finds Michael Jordan grabbing a rebound, then going coast to coast for the score, giving the others a 1-point lead with 3 minutes to go in the first. The ones continue to show off their great passing though, as LeBron finds Elgin Baylor with an open jumper. Again though, Barkley has an answer, as his fadeaway from the left corner drops through the net at the end of the first to give his team a 2-point lead. The second quarter finds Kobe Bryant and Kevin Durant entering the game for the first time. Eager to make his mark, Kobe scores on a sweet fadeaway jumper, then isolates himself at the top of the key. He crosses over, heads to the basket, and scores, completing an impressive mini explosion. Durant then knocks down 2 jumpers of his own, hitting from near the free throw line, then backing up and sinking a shot from deep 3-point territory. LeBron tries to cool down this scoring explosion with some jump shots of his own, but he can't seem to find the mark, missing on several open jumpers. Finally, he stops settling and takes the ball to the hole, throwing down a dunk that cuts the others' lead to 6 with 6 minutes to go in the second. And while the first 6 minutes of this quarter were dominated by the new generation, the last 6 are dominated by the old one. Oscar shows off his all-around ability by scoring off a quick move to the basket, then setting up Kareem with an open layup off a pick and roll. The others continue to stay in front though, as Bird converts on a tough long jumper to give the others a 6-point lead at the end of the first half. The second half begins with an explosive scoring battle between 2 former MVPs. Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson begin to take over, as Jordan scores on a combination of pull-up jumpers and breathtaking drives to the basket. Iverson scores in a variety of different ways, converting on some slick floaters as well as some impressive finishes around the rim. Both Hall of Famers rack up 10 points in this quarter alone, though it is the ones who begin to take control of this game. Shaq makes his presence known on both ends, blocking shots on back-to-back possessions while also throwing down some monster jams off of passes from LeBron. Tim Duncan also begins to get going, showing off his range with some jumpers near the top of the key and also showing off his post moves with a soft turnaround jumper. The ones end the third with a 3-point lead, setting the stage for an intense final quarter. And so both teams begin the fourth with a renewed determination to take control of the momentum. Kareem scores on a sweeping hook shot on a feed from Magic, but it is quickly matched by a pull-up jumper from Larry Legend. Larry continues to show off his automatic jump shot, hitting from the left wing to cut the lead to 2 with 9 minutes remaining. These 2 jump shots seem to ignite a fire in LeBron James. Perhaps it's just because he wants to win. Maybe it's because he wants to be known as the best small forward of all time, better than anyone else, especially Larry Bird. Whatever the case, LeBron bodies Bird in the post and scores off a physical move to the basket. He then takes a pass at the top of the key and blows by Bird in a swift display of athleticism, converting at the basket to give the ones a 4-point lead with 6 minutes to go. And again, former MVPs begin to shine. Magic throws down a quick but efficient dunk off a pass from Allen Iverson. Then Iverson darts to the basket and scores off a scoop layup. Jordan matches these shots with a fall-away jumper, then Chuck continues to bang in the post, muscling his way to the basket, then throwing down an athletic jam to tie the game with just 3 minutes remaining. Then, after both teams trade misses, Magic finds an opening to the basket and draws in the defense. The help is late getting back to Duncan, and his layup breaks the tie with just 2 minutes to go. This lead holds for the next minute and a half, which brings us to the final 30 seconds. Stockton brings the ball up, down 2, with his team in desperate need of a score. He finds Jordan on the wing, and the others attempt to clear out and let Jordan get to work. The ones have other plans though, bringing a double team and forcing Jordan to pass the ball to Charles Barkley on the other side of the court. Barkley squares up for the open 3, lets it go, and it's no good. The ones rebound the miss, Iverson knocks down both free throws, and the ones win this battle of the Titans by 4 points. And looking at the box score, Jordan did his best to upend the ones, scoring a game-high 24 points. Barkley also had a monster game, finishing with 21 points and 14 rebounds. Though in the end, the combined effort of the ones was just too much. Iverson scored 18, LeBron had 15 points and 10 assists, and Magic Johnson took home player of the game, finishing the night with 14 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. And thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and anyone who's been watching for a while is probably pretty happy that Michael Jordan actually lost. Everyone who's been commenting Michael Jordan wins everything, this was for you. But seriously, I was actually pretty surprised by this result. I mean, it's insane that the #1 overall pick, only one selection in the draft, could actually beat everyone else. There's no chance this would happen in any other professional sport. This would only happen in the NBA. And for my subscribers, everyone who's been sticking with me, thank you so much for supporting me. And if you haven't subscribed already, I make basketball videos like this. I look at basketball history, I do conspiracies, I do a whole lot here. Basically, if you love basketball, you'll love this channel, and I'd love to have you subscribe. And one last note before we go, I did get this idea from Reddit, so thank you to, one second here, Thonmaker_KD+KG for making the original thread, and username was effin taken for tagging me. Thanks guys, and to everyone, have an awesome day, and cue the music.